Yeah, we're almost ready to travel again, and I remembered I forgot to show you guys where we parked up here in Cordoba. So it's, yeah, we stayed here for 2 nights. It's a good place to be, and it's I think it's an overflow parking for the zoo that's on that side, or maybe even for the hospital that's over there. And there are also oh, there is university flags, some kids or youngsters parking their cars and driving to school. I'll tell a bit about those youngsters a bit when we're driving, because that's a funny story. But yeah, ready to move on. We're going to the coast.
Na 1 kilometer de snelweg op.
Yes, we are on the Autovia de Malaga, and that's our destination for the day. Not Malaga itself, but a little bit east of it, on the coast. We found 2 locations, and yeah, one of the 2 will probably be a good fit to spend at least the night. So then we're at the Mediterranean for the first time this trip. So I know Bo will be happy to be back at the sea. I'm curious to see what the temperature is of the sea, if it's still good for a swim or if it's too cold by now. Let's see. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. Getting back to this morning, and the young people parking their vehicles at the parking place when they go to university. I'm just going to slide in behind this truck because I have to wait for Richard and Julie getting up the mountain. Yeah, so I was walking Bo this morning, and I found a brand new phone on the parking lot. Someone obviously lost it, dropped it, or had it on the roof of the car or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, no scratches, nothing, so it really looked like a brand new phone. And yeah, it was a Spanish phone. It was in Spanish, and tried to get into it to see if it had like most used telephone number or ICE in case of emergency number, something in it. But yeah, it was pattern locked. So we tried a few patterns, but it wouldn't unlock. So yeah, then you tried a few. It says wait 30 seconds, and after a few more it says wait a minute. So yeah, we were done with that. But when we were packing up and getting ready to move, the phone rang, and it was a young lad walking across the parking lot calling his own phone, and yeah, I was very happy that I found it, and we were honest people giving back his phone. And his old phone the screen was all cracked up, it was broken, and so yeah, he was very happy that we returned his phone. So another good deed today. We just went off the highway on the Route Nationale again. We're gonna fill up with diesel on a gas station, a filling station that where the diesel should be 114.6. So yeah, I checked on the app along the route, and this was the cheapest one. It was on the route, just get off the highway on the N road parallel to the highway, and a bit further get back on the highway. So that's and easy. And the vicinity of Malaga, it was like 122, 123, 24. So now it's 114.6. It's an easy 10 cents per liter. So yeah.
Volg deze route.
Yeah, we are back on the highway, filled up. It was 114.9. So yeah, so when you pay attention to cheap gas stations along the route, you use the app, and yeah, it's easily in countries like Spain or Portugal or Greece or whatever, the cheaper countries, easily sitting down at a bar and having a few drinks. You can, or what else you want to spend it on, but yeah. So yeah, so we're back on road to Malaga, and yeah, looking forward to see the mat again. We're driving and enjoying the Spanish landscape. I am taking this time to tell you guys about how we put solar panel up on, because there was a question from Jaap, and he asked me if I could elaborate a little bit more about yeah, how we did that, how we fixed it on the roof. Yeah, because I told you already, I did not film anything, because getting the panel up there before it got dark, yeah, was more important to us than filming the whole process, because we wouldn't have managed it before dark otherwise. So yeah, but I can tell you the whole process, and yeah, hopefully it's helpful and answers the question. So yeah, the first thing we did is put a solar panel on the roof. We had a ladder. That's very convenient when you got a big fan. Have a decent ladder you can use, and the lightest person in this case was Richard. We put him on the roof. We marked the roof first where the struts on the inside were, so the beams, the strengthening of the roof, marked that on the roof, so we know exactly where he could step without really denting the roof. Because yeah, unless you maybe put a kid up there, you're gonna dent the roof if you walk it. It's not that thick of steel. So, but we marked the struts on the outside of the roof, so he knew where he was safe to stand. So we put Richard on the roof, myself and on the ground, Julie on the ladder, and with the both of us we put the solar panel up, handed it to Richard, and I could take over from Julie by then. And so we put the solar panel. It's yeah, it's a big panel, 1 by 2 meters, 22 kilos. You have to get it on the roof without damaging, and there was quite some wind, so yeah, we asked Julie to help with that as a third person. But you could do it with 2 if there was no wind or whatever. And so yeah, we put the solar panel on the roof. I'm very lucky that my roof is not really curved. It's reasonably flat, so yeah, that made it easy just to put it somewhere in the middle. We put a little bit more to the passenger side, so where my sliding door is, so I can get on my cabinet I've got in the door, stand on it and reach solar panels at least half to wipe it, and with a little tool I can reach the complete panel to clean it if I have to. So yeah, we put it about 20 centimeters from the rail on the roof, and then we marked the entire panel. So just with a pencil, marked the corners, marked the front, and we marked every high part on the side of the panel from the corrugated roof. So the roof is corrugated, so it got higher laying levels and lower laying levels. So we marked the high points on that, because that is the only place we put sticker flags for the site. So the lower laying parts are left open so the wind can go under it to dry it out, prevent it from molding, cool the panel, whatever. So yeah, we did that. Was marked on the back side. We made sure that in the front it was on a high-rise. So put the panel in the middle of a high-rise, mark it there, and then on the back side it did not correspond with a high-rise, so it was over a low part. But we marked that definite the corners and a little line down the middle of the back side. And then we got the panel of the roof again, put it safe out of the wind to the side of the van. Went up there with the Sikaflex, and when you look at the nozzle from the Sikaflex, the nozzle that comes with the Sikaflex, it's got some markings on there like indents. You can cut the nozzle. So there is a normal one to cut it round hole, but there is also one with a V shape. So we use the V shape. So when it's cut, and it's got on one side of the nozzle this round, but then let's say on the front it's got a V shape with the tip of the V towards the tube with the Sikaflex. So when you have to look how you do it, but when you put the nozzle on the roof, in our case, to draw the kit line, the Sikaflex line, you want the round part on the roof and the V-shaped up. So when you draw a line like that, you get a trail that looks like a point. So it's broad at the base and pointy at the top. So that's how we measured, of course, the frame for the solar panel. In our case it was 4 or 3.5 centimeters, something like that. And then we left some space to our markings to put beams of Sikaflex around wherever we mark the panel. So on the high rises on the sides, the complete front, except from like a piece of 10 centimeters in the middle, where we put a wooden piece of wood, so it would be easier to rest the panel on there, get it aligned to the back perfectly, and then take the wood from the front side after we made sure the front was correct too. So that's what we did. We put a Sikaflex on the roof, and because the back side did not correspond with a high rise, and we had to do like a double beat in the low part. So Richard built it up like the corner, made a corner first, the other corner, then put a few, I believe 4 pieces in the middle, and then like a dotted line, and then built the first layer up with the second layer, so it came up higher, because yeah, you need to touch the panel, of course, with the Sikaflex, and it's a low level back there, so that's how we did that. So then we took the panel back up the roof. Richard was on the roof, walked to the back, I handed him the panel. I went up the ladder on the front, kept the the panel up from the roof, let it go down a little bit to the wood slat we put up, and then Richard put the backside exactly as we measured it, put it in the Sikaflex. We took out the wood from the front, put it down in the Sikaflex at the front, made sure it is correct. We were happy with it, because you still got a little bit, like a few millimeters wiggle room when it's down, but then push it straight into the Sikaflex all around, give it a good push on the frame without damaging the solar panel, of course. So make sure you're pushing the frame, not the panel. And then and of course, very important, before you put it in the Sikaflex, make sure the cables on the back where you connect the solar panel you want to put them to the side or the front or wherever you want the cables to come out from under the panel. So in our case it would be in a low rise of the corrugated roof. So we taped the cables so they could easily get from under the roof to where we wanted them. And then before we put the panel in the Sikaflex at the front, I first stuck with my other hand the cables to the side, let the panel rest on the wood, made sure the cables were clear and in the low part, and then take the wood out, drop the panel in the Sikaflex and make sure it fits nice and safe in the Sikaflex. Then it was time for have a cup of tea, and then we continued to do the roof pass through. So we drilled 2 holes of a centimeter, put a rubber grommet in, fed the cable through to the where the charge controller is. In my case it's in the front behind the passenger seat. Yeah, you want to put everything on the cable, so make sure the pass-through is on the cable, every rubber, every nozzle, everything you need to have on the cable, make sure it's on correct, so you can fix it right together before you fix it to the roof. But with the charge controller mounted, it's important that you connect the battery first. Always connect the battery first, solar panel second. So battery first, then we did the cables from the solar panel. We made everything ready. Even the roof through, the pass-through thingy that's over the cover. Made everything ready. Didn't fit it yet. Then made sure the cables on the inside went into the charge controller, went up back to the roof, connect the cables, and then Sikaflex the roof through the cover on the roof itself. So the little part where the cables go through and screw on the cover, we filled that up with Sikaflex, then screwed it on as far as it went, because the Sikaflex is going to give you some resistance, but that, don't worry about that, it doesn't have to be on all the way, because you filled it up with Sikaflex. It's going to keep it, and it's going to make sure that it's really waterproof, so, and you can smear the outside with a little bit of Sikaflex with your finger or whatever. Make sure it's neatly on the roof. Make sure you got enough cable wiggle to disconnect and connect those connectors. So if you have to disconnect them for whatever reason, you can. So we did that, and hooking everything up, and then let the Sikaflex do its work. It needs, I believe the first drying stage is about 5 hours, then it is really not moving anywhere, and then you needed to leave it for about 12 hours and you can drive around with it. So in our case that was easy, because we just didn't start driving till like midday the next day. We were ready around 7 in the evening, so we started like 4:30, and then like at 7 we were done with the whole panel and everything connecting, everything hooked up, and 2.5 hours it took us. So I think I've got the whole process now, and but if I missed something, if you've got additional questions or any other questions or whatsoever, put them in the comments. I'll get back to you about it, try to answer all your questions, and I hope it was helpful. Let me know if it was or if it wasn't or whatever. I think that's it for the solar panel. So but at least I hope it was, because it was your question, I hope it was helpful. You probably watched the Dutch version, but I do it also in English, of course, for you guys. So we continue our trip back down to Malaga. at the height of 675 meters. We are coming to the other side of this mountain, and you notice it's green on this side. The other side was more barren land, and here it's all green, all covered in trees and bushes, and yeah, still some mountains ahead. I don't know if we have to go over them or pass through a valley or whatever, but yeah, it looks quite cool too. Cool to drive between these mountains, and we're at 800 meters altitude, not far back, and we're quite fast descending to like sea level, so quite cool. Yep, now it is the Middellandse Zee, the Mediterranean. That other coast.
Na 2 kilometer neem de afslag rechtsaf 246 B.
Yeah, we parked up for the night. You can already see the side of the van. We're at the Mediterranean. The sun has just set. Look at that. Not too shabby. It's quite busy here. A lot of campers. And there is a road up there. But then again, it probably quiets down a bit in the evening. See, the moon is out. Yeah. I think we're gonna take the bikes and drive around a bit tomorrow. There's bike lanes, walk lanes, horse trails, so yeah, let's see.